Okay, punters, we're going to talk about the Everest now, the richest race in the history of the world, ironically named after a mountain that's covered in snow. My best bet for the day at Randwick is if you need to poo, do so before you get in there. The cubicles will be... Good luck getting in there, and you'll be lining up for a long time. So if you do need a poo, get it done early, and if you're feeling one coming on, don't leave it too late. Get there and line up and give yourself plenty of time. G'day punters, welcome to the mailbag previewing big Caulfield Cup meeting at Caulfield, joined by Pistol Pete Anthonys, the production manager and content guru at the mailbag, and racing's newest and biggest, probably biggest free agent ever, especially since we stole Pete from Sky, who trained him up beautifully. Thank you very much. The production's gone through the roof since his return. Scooty.
It's great to be here.
How's life?
It's actually pretty good at the moment. I guess I'm on the punt full time, and just trying to pick up a little bit of consulting work here and there. So it's a brand new chapter for me.
The mailbag punting syndicate's it was a rocky start on Saturday.
Yeah, so to give you some context there, I got out to the track on Saturday, and then we backed up at Cranbourne on Sunday. So we're better to cut your teeth in at the track and get back amongst it, just to really dial in. And I've found it a good experience. It's been quite colourful. It's been good to run into a couple of our Betfair the Betfair customers.
Yeah.
It's been a funny start, but we got some runs on the board yesterday.
Big day yesterday.
Big day at Caulfield.
We're finally back. It's one of the most torturous runs I've had recently. On course punting only. Movers have been ticking on pretty nicely. And when top of the range was given a Mick D special yesterday and sat 3 wide the trip over 2,000 metres, ripping and tearing its head off, and then still looked like the winner with 200 to go and didn't get there, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be another painful day. But Ollie, the champion,
lifted.
Geez, he lifted seriously as an over line. Damien Oliver, I love you. You turned it around for us, and it was just green light racing from there for us and the boys. And we're back, Pete. We're right back in it. This is a huge meeting at Caulfield, and we're also going to quickly preview the Everest at the end. I'd be rude not to. We're going to start with race 4 at Caulfield, the Betfair Classic. It's over 2,000 metres. Miami bound, $2.80. Warning, SP30's last start, given a peach by Martin Harley, is now $4.60 here. Thought of that, El Meach, $4.60. Power Scheme, $12. Huntley Castle, 10s, and longer the rest. Speed here, Pete, have you got a speed map, or would you like me to do it?
I think you've probably got it.
Thought of that'll be the leader. I'll chime in. Power Scheme might be handy. Warning probably pushes forward. Then you've got Miami Bound and Maruku, which are about probably 3 pairs back there, but really small field here.
Out of the two in the market, I'm firmly with Miami Bound. I respect the SP profile hugely here. It was ridden against its normal pattern at Flemington by Ollie because it was a severe on-pace bias day there. I think it can bounce off that. It was really, really impressive winning at Bendigo prior to that. Huntley Castle was like just nice cold sort of barrier trial route at Flemington. It's flying. It's already into the bigger race, I think the Derby. It was really strong, I thought, at Flemington. It can win this easily, but I think you've got to be with Miami Bound, very cautious of Huntley Castle. I'm against Warning at the price, and I think there's a horse here in Power Scheme that gets the blinkers, gets Zara off, which in this case I think is a positive, although Mark's airborne at the moment. I hated the way he rode this thing at Moonee Valley last start, and I think the horse can improve with a little gear change and a little bit more intent.
Yeah, I'm a little bit... it's a bit of a wait and see job for me with the betting around Thought of that. It was an 8-length winner at Donald. I'm not sure how that form is going to hold up from that maiden, and now he jumps up to the 2,000 metre race here with some really impressive sort of staying prospects here. I agree with what Jack's saying with Power Scheme. I think it will improve sharply. It's going to be a real tactical race with Warning and Huntley Castle. I agree Warning got the better ride last time, and Huntley Castle's been one of mine that
Huntley Castle's in your top 5 horses at the moment.
Yeah, he's sort of one of my pin-up horses, but Jai McNeil probably takes the back of Warning, or I think he should take the back of him.
I think they'll both end up towards the back of the field.
Yeah, so not sure. You'll get a pretty good read on the track by then, by race 4. But yeah, distance races, I'm sort of less inclined, and especially with the small field, I don't think bias will play much of a part in this. I can't bet into the race just yet, but yeah, I'll be waiting and watching to see tactically how sort of Huntley Castle maps, and if he settles on the back of Warning, I probably might back him in play on Betfair.
Peter Ant's snoozeness. What do you like?
I'm awake now. Thought of that. System bet. Love the late sections.
460.
At Donald. I'll probably get longer on the day.
I think you will get longer
I'm
on
not
the
going
day.
to dive into that price right now, but be more
It's
than happy
real
to play it late and betting. I think the step up in distance looks ideal. Linda Meach, hopefully with Spurs on. The things that dreams are made of.
Race 6, the Ethereal Stakes, over 2,000 metres again. Celestial Falls favourite gets Ben Mellum on T. Clark off $3.60. Snap Dancer brings that strong Carmen San Diego form at $6.50 here. Vegas Jewel off a very nice win against the bias at Moonee Valley, $6.50 for Geordie Childs. Oriental Lily, that's a horse that we backed on debut and then to win its maiden at the next 3 starts, which it couldn't do. It's now $9 and a very good chance here for D Lane in a proper race on Caulfield Cup Day. Gamay, who was slaughtered last start by D Bates, he sticks and now drawn 7, probably gets a much nicer ride from Declan here, $11. Contrition, won at Kyneton, it's $11 here, longer the rest. Levin Lass, I thought I'd mention, $15, $14 a round. It's going to get the run of the race. I thought it was probably a bet until I saw the concussion plates are going on, and I'll probably need to leave it alone now. Scooty?
Yeah, speed map. Celestial Falls may not necessarily lead. I know it led last time, but it did that to make full use of the pattern of the track. So Ocean misses the other one that'll push forward. And then you've got Gamay and Snap Dancer that might kick up inside. And Fiorento's Girl might be trying to use that barrier 1 advantage. But I can kick off here.
Hang on, sorry. Next time you do that, please write into the microphone. As part of our contractual agreement with Mountain Goat Lager. Sorry, Skitty.
Yeah, I'd be cautious betting the favourite here. One of the reasons was the map. So barrier 10, I think they might snick it or give it.
They have to cross here.
Well, I think they might just give it a quieter ride. It's already in the Oaks, and I think they'd want to keep some speed into its legs for that next big grand final. So a quieter ride here and freshen the horse up is something that I might, it's one of my angles.
Little Scooty angle.
So, it's proven that Flemington's its go, and I think they'll just be thinking about that grand final. There's no chop in sort of winning this Group 3, in my opinion. It will pick up black type in time. I thought the runner that jumps out to me is Vegas Jewel. She was really impressive on debut, and I backed her at Moonee Valley that time, and that was a visually impressive win. She just looks really progressive to my eye. And then probably the other chance that looks pretty well found in the early market, and I'd expect the drift would be Cape Leopard, coming off 101 SP and Pat Carey, but in an awful map position.
I agree, it's got an awful...
Snoozeness?
Yes. I agree, it's got an awful map position, but I have to have something on from
Cape Leopard?
From Cape Leopard, but I'm heavily with Snap Dancer, and if it parades like it did last start.
Pete's a bit of a Snap Dancer fan off the way it paraded last start. I think Snap Dancer and Gamay will get the 2 nicest runs outside of Levin Lass in the race. Probably going to look to back both. Gamay was well backed to beat Celestial Falls early, drifted late and was slaughtered. It can only improve. I respect the market push for it early. It tells me the horse has some ability. It's going to get every possible here, I think. Really Discreet is a horse, and Oriental Lily that I like, both of them. Really Discreet was absolutely slaughtered by Luke Nolan at Flemington. He didn't know where to go, forward or back, and just sort of sat in the middle there choking it. I worry it's the same setup here though. If they can run on, and they are running on, those 2 horses will be perfectly ridden cold and get out and savage the line. But I don't think you want to be running on in the field of this size. I'm anticipating it's on pace to midfield suited on Saturday. I agree Vegas Jewel. It's a hard thing to line up, but what it did at Moonee Valley, not many did that night. So a couple of extra sort of points for it. I expect Celestial Falls crosses, and I think Snap Dancer gets its back. Gets John Allen. This is a big test for this horse. There's a wrap on it. It's not really delivered much yet. This is its opportunity. The race sets up really nicely for it to explode here. I think Snap Dancer is the way to bet.
I'm happy to bet you guys both a slab of beer here,
Good.
a head-to-head if you like, a slab of goat. I sort of like the Mountain Goat Steam Ale, so I'd like to choose that beer as well. But I'll take the back marker, Vegas Jewel, if you guys are interested, or just at least one. I might get you for it, Pete, and you can have Snap Dancer. I just don't really like the fact that I've got a shocking
What?
which to beat yours home.
100%. How many cases are we talking? 100%.
I'll bet you two. Two cases.
Done.
Do you want it as well?
No, I'll take you on later.
What do you mean?
Well, we'll pick a different race.
I want to bet lots of beer and bet all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You're like the dolphin.
we've got a shocking versus a Schwarzier up to 2,000. One's jumping from 1,600. Was great last start, and the other horses had 2 starts at 1,400. Now jumps up to 2,000 metres, and is bred by a sprinter. I can't see that happening.
It's a proper beast, this thing.
I'm happy with the bet. The 2 cases is great.
Beautiful. I can't wait.
Vegas Jewel for me.
Pick on the
Head to
way in,
head.
I reckon. Caulfield race 7, the Caulfield Sprint. Miss Leonidas, F's Basta, the Ninja Warrior. God help us if I tell him to ride this thing with cover, because you know he will. What he did to Reckoning yesterday was just so hard to watch. I cannot believe the stable elected to use those tactics. It's a story for another day, something we might do on the deep dive, but it was just inept on every level. God of Thunder, second favourite for Dwayne Dunn, off a huge close at Mooney Valley when probably not suited, $4.80. Not enough effort, was very good also, and $7.50 here. McLaren, C. Williams, $9. Crystal Dreamer off $81 SP, which we found. Pistol, thank the gods. Zeus, Odin, Buddha. $10 here though. Tactical Advantage gets D. Oliver on, Abdullah off, $31 SP in a Group 1 Moya. $10 here. I'm Immortal and Intuition about the same price. And the second outsider in this field, punters, believe it or not. I know MD's not going the best, but it's still Malibu style. This thing is just a consistent horse.
Scratch last start.
And it's
Scratch
now,
from Wednesday.
and it's now second outsider of the field here. It's only $13, but wowee, I'd be shocked if Malibu style isn't somewhat backed in this race.
Speed, I'm Immortal, not enough effort. Crystal Dreamer, Malibu Style, McLaren, Miss Leonidas. It's going to be on for young and old, in my opinion.
Who wants it? McLaren's got the most speed, I think, but Craig Williams isn't going to just... we learned that the hard way, didn't we? Back in Ball and Muscle last week.
Oh no, he'll do the opposite now.
You reckon he'll roll forward?
Just for you. For no one else.
Yeah, well... I don't know what'll happen here. I really don't know what happened here. I didn't mind the way Intuition trialled. I watched them. Interested to see what Nick Noonan says when it comes through. I liked enough of what Tactical Advantage did in a really good race. I'm happy to oppose God of Thunder at the price. If it got out, I wouldn't care what the market's doing. I'll then get on. I just think it's drawn 3. There's going to be a real lot of speed, and some of these are going to be stopping off this speed, and he's going to have to weave a passage. Tactical Advantage and Intuition, especially Tactical Advantage, I think can get a really nice run off a really, really strong speed here. On with Tactical Advantage each way. Pete.
God of Thunder's a system bet for me, as is not enough effort. So I'll be looking at playing both of those, but I am terrified that Malibu Style's in the race. And if it wins,
West is best, bro.
Yeah, exactly.
So
is it a 1,000 metre horse?
And is it a West is best horse? How long do you claim these horses for?
It's still being trained by West Australian.
That's a West horse then.
It's owned by West Australians. It's just living over here.
So
am I still a West Australian if I live here for 3 years?
Yes.
okay, what am I? Am I still a New South Welshman?
Yes.
You're whatever you want.
I think you are.
You can claim yourself.
Is Russell
You're a
Crowe?
Shire boy.
What's Russell Crowe?
He's a Kiwi.
Okay, a lot of people say he's Australian. One of the greatest actors of all time, Rusty. Loves a dart too. Scooty?
I've done a race. Thanks for asking. I think there's a couple of different ways to look at this. The easiest is to think that it's a lottery. There's lots of different chances and tempo is going to be everything, but lots of speed to me. Gods of Thunder was hard to miss last time, and Wayne Hawkes has given it a big push on that after the last show.
With which platform? He's on just about every platform there is in racing.
Yeah, I think he's quite good talent. We might get him on
Very
our
good
show one
talent.
day.
We couldn't afford him.
Huh?
I think he's doing that for free.
We just ate some pizza. He might come down and get some pizza. Huh? What's wrong with that? He says controversial things.
I
So
think he's eaten enough pizza.
that's nasty. I thought everyone likes pizza. Okay, more
It's hard to
seriously,
find good pizza down here.
I think Godolphin have got this embarrassment of riches in their sprinting department. Intuition looks a horse that will handle that sustained tempo. Like it's got out to 1200 before, and
It's a nice trial. Like a trial, nice.
yeah, I think it's a horse that can finish over the top of these at a great price for your mate Ben Mellon Gladrap.
Gladrap, Benny Mellon.
That's the horse at the price that I sort of like, but I'd be looking at the best of the closers. I know Chris Lees gave Tactical Advantage a bit of a spruik as well, but Intuition, every time Godolphin have got a sprinter, they just seem to find the right sort of race for it. And they seem to have an endless army of sprinters. It sort of makes me sick.
Well, it's because he's got endless amounts of cash. Yeah. What I was going to say about Intuition's trials, which I found interesting, was the first trial, it was as good or better than Paco, which won yesterday.
Yeah, Pancho.
And the second trial, it was probably as good as, and it's a different sort of distance, but Fierce Impact. So it's a pretty hot trial.
Yeah.
Fierce Impact's come out and brained him there in the Toorak last week.
I wouldn't have said brain. It was just gifted a great ride. Right spot, right ride.
Well, it would have run second it would have beaten third by a long way if Night's Watch
probably
got out.
Yeah.
Still it went very well. Race number 8, Peter. It is the
Moonga.
Race number 8, Peter. It's the Moonga Stakes. It's over 400 metres. Royal Meeting, the import. $3.50 and favourite. Land of Plenty. D-Lane. Snowden's now. If you can't keep up at home, it's now been trained by the Snowdens. It's $5 chance. Desert Lord with some colding form. $5.50. Streets of Avalon gets Ben Gladrap Mellon on. Is a $7 chance in this race. Variation, West is best, and D. Oliver rides is $8.50, and Tom Melbourne's 10s. Manalo Blahnik for Sleepy. Jake Noonan is $11 shot here on the quick backup. Scooty, speed map.
Streets of Avalon probably crosses and leads. Tom Melbourne, scratch from the Toorak. Will kick up as well. Moss and Dale's got early speed, and Turbian probably sits sort of 1-1.
Land of Plenty has immense ability.
It's also had fetlock surgery since we last saw it.
It's had a few issues. It's had 2 trials in Sydney leading into this. The first was over 1,000 metres. It was sort of pushed out, and I don't think it was all that impressive for the ability that the horse had. Second was over 1,200 metres, and it was really pushed out. It responded, but I don't think you want to see a horse with its natural ability trialling like that for a race like this. If it's right, it'll win, but I'm against it off those 2 trials. I think it's not what it was. Streets of Avalon ticks every box for me here. It's a jockey upgrade, no knock-sacks bane, but Ben Mellon's flying. This will make its own luck. 16 back to 14, rock hard fit now, perfect setup. Hard to knock. I think it'll start much shorter than the price it is currently. Turbium can't catch, don't know what they're doing, might not have come up this prep. Tom Melbourne can't knock, but can't back at the same time. Desert Lord, the colding form is a bit scary. Variation, I'll leave to Pete, and I'll trust his judgments when we make some betting decisions on track. And the import, Drew tells me to get back run on horse with legitimate Group 1 form, which scares the shit out of me.
You can't really bet in this race until the day, can you?
I think you can back Streets. I'm going to probably back Streets of Avalon.
You could back Streets of Avalon and crush it up.
Right.
I think the market will come for it. I don't know that it can. I don't think it's a moral, or I don't think it will win.
I don't think it'll, but I think it'll lead, and I doubt it's going to stop. It's just if this import is like airborne, or if Tom Melbourne finally won a race, or if like Desert Lord or Land of Plenty show up. But Manalo Blahnik was blessed in run last start, and if he wasn't asleep at the wheel, it would have rolled into the race and probably won. It's drawn inside here. It's a different setup. The horse will be waiting even longer to get going here.
I think by this stage we'll have a real good established idea of what the track's doing, and I'll be looking to lay things as opposed to backing something to win.
Can you tell us about Variation?
I can. Talented horse, has had quite a few issues. First up this prep at Belmont, walked outstandingly. I believe it lost or cast both 4 plates in its most recent run at Belmont. Was a little bit disappointing.
All 4 of them.
No, just the front ones, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Castle 4. Sorry, Jet 4 is in like FORE.
Got a layman's terms for the punters out there. I don't even know what you were talking about. Okay.
Front foot.
Lost his 2 front shoes.
Near 4.
Left, right.
Like watching the girls after Caulfield Cup and Everest Day, lost both front shoes.
Yeah, but like as we talk about with racing and like the powers that be, we need to make racing understandable to the people who want to get involved in racing.
Indeed. Anyway, it's a really nice horse, like cracking type, you'll love it. Does have immense ability, but I don't think we've seen the best of variation over the last couple of preps. But
will you be able to look at this thing in the yard and just go yes or no?
It'll probably parade really well.
It's still a little bit wobbly after the pushing shapes incident, which was that the first day you were on track together?
Yeah, I think so. For the first.
Pushing shapes walked like I love him, and he's like, nah, it's fat for it.
And still beat up
And it
up on Victorians.
it won 80 to 1.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, Royal Meeting, it's hard to ignore the sort of Group 1 international form, and then 355 days is another big query. Probably a good one from the yard. Don't think I really want to bet. If you have to have a bet, you probably back Streets of Avalon and trade out either before the off. I think the big syndicates will find it, or trade it out in play. And I can't really see any more angles to the race. I just think it's probably... I actually thought Tom Melbourne would run a real big race in the Toorak. I think he's going really, really well.
Form's elite.
Yeah, he'd be the other, joker in the pack about, $10.
Righto, punters, the Mountain Goat Caulfield Cup, race 9 at Caulfield, over 2,400 metres. Your favourite is Finch, $6. Del Glace, D Lane, $7.50. Constantinople, Luke Nolan, $8.50. Vow and Declare, enormous run last start. Gets Craig Williams on now, $8.50. Mr. Quickie off a really short SP, heavily backed, is now $8 chance here. Musters here, D Oliver, $15, $13. Mirage Dancer, 17s. The Chosen One gets S Basta, 16s, should be 30s. Prince of Aran gets J Carr, 20s. Hartnell, Brad Willer, 20s. Rostropovich, 20s. Wolf, 20s. Goldmount, 23. Longer the rest. Do we even want to attempt a speed map here or just talk about the race?
I think that's a good starting point to start talking about the race. You've got Wolf, who won yesterday on the quick backup with Meach. So ideally, it goes forward and probably leads. And then Michael Walker's another noted sort of front-running rider as well. So he's got a big decision to make. I think he's got one option, and that's to push forward and try and sit outside Wolf. Or, if they don't, it's clear instructions from Waller that he thinks this horse is a genuine Melbourne Cup winning chance. And I'd be...
Oh, punters. Can you smell it? This is a severe security angle about to come in here. If this horse... Let me just try and guess it. If this horse is snicked early, you're going to open up like your corporate accounts and have a little bit on the Melbourne Cup.
I couldn't back it for the Melbourne Cup quick enough if they go back on this horse. He profiles he profiles like the Melbourne Cup horse, and I wouldn't be surprised, but this is a really winnable race for him. So plan A, plan B, and Waller's a pretty relaxed sort of customer. I could see Chris saying if he can get over, do it, but if everything charges for the lead or something... It's always
like a charge of the light brigade in the Caulfield Cup.
I did do the tape of the Turnbull, and I noticed Finch's action is very choppy, hard going horse. So maybe he can't even snick the horse.
He was blessed in run.
Yeah, blessed. Yeah, I'm not sure he's a good. Even if he goes forward, I'm not sure he's a good thing in the race.
Massive unders. Look, I thought Wolf had speed. Drew says Constantinople has speed. Crown Prosecutor, True Self, Mirage Dancer, Red Verdon. So there's a lot of speed here. Khalifa has speed. Hartnell's got speed if they want to use it, which they should. Rostropovich has a little bit of speed. And then the horses in the inside, like the Vow and Declares, the Sounds, even a horse like Mr. Quickie and Noof's Bosk, they're going to roll forward. Like, not forward, but they're not going to just sneak to last. It's going to make all these horses drawn outside and either go for it or sneak right out the back.
Who wants to continue the conversation?
I like Crown Prosecutor, the Kiwi. coming out of that race behind Melody Bell. I've got a lot of time for that galloper, but I've also backed Big Duke at trips each way as soon as they said they were going to be accepting there. And gate 1 I think is ideal, but that horse looked outstanding in the yard last start up there in Sydney. Love the way it attacked the line from way too far back and run from gate 1, could potentially settle more towards midfield as opposed to being cast out the back. Just think it huge odds in a race that is really, really tough. I'm more than happy to have a bit on Big Duke and then something on Crown Prosecutor.
I really like Pete's angle with Crown Prosecutor. The camp are sort of playing it down and saying, he might run in the top 10 for prize money, which it's just a typical Kiwi thing to do. Like, they're so shifty. Like, you saw Murray Baker go have the Chosen One dead twice. And this horse won the New Zealand Derby with the Chosen One quite a fair way behind it. He was pretty good through the line behind Melody Bell, as you point out. That New Zealand Derby winners profile really well for this race. You remember a horse called Mongolian Khan a few years ago, and the difference was he had the 2,000 metre run the week before and then backed up. Something I will say about that type of setup is I sort of think that Charlie Fellows has made the wrong call again 2 years in a row with Prince of Iran. I think he should have taken Prince of Iran to the Geelong Cup last year, and I was really upset with that.
I wish he did. We would have won.
We would have won great money there, and he would have been even fresher to tackle cross counter. But Prince of Iran's unlikely to get a run now, and he'd be well in the race on the back up, and I think he'd beat the Chosen One home. But getting back to the Crown Prosecutor, I think this horse is a very sneaky, and he looks like a genuine stayer, and he might be just here a year too soon, and he could be a really good Melbourne Cups horse next year. He just looks like a genuine stayer off the tapes. He could go forever, but he's not even paid up for the Melbourne Cup.
All right. I love what Bound Declare did last start. I thought the way it got through the line was outstanding. I'm disgusted at the price they want me to take. I thought Mr. Quickie appealed a lot here, but I didn't like the way it paraded at Flemington, but I normally love the way it parades. If it parades how I've seen it before, I may bet. Outside that, I've got not a lot of interest or an idea, to be honest. It's not my go, these imported horses.
I think Mr. Quickie and Murder Glass can win, but they're going to get a long way back.
Well, but if John Allen, if you're watching, I know, if you're watching, you're drawing 10. If you just give it a little bit of intent for the first 200 metres, you'll be 2/3 back, one off, smoking the pipe, asleep.
He settled in a really good spot in the Queensland Derby and then found traffic. So he's definitely capable of.
But if he shows no intent, you'll end up like last, probably the fence, and have to circle via the car park, which they raced on Wednesday. I don't want to be on any horse in run, or if you're mapping them, that it's going to, in the Caulfield, in these bigger races, that's going to be making their runs out in the shit that they raced on Wednesday. It'd be a good advantage if you can get out and be going inside of where the rail was. Lucky last race, number 10 punters at Tristart Stakes. It's over 1,400 metres. Pahutakawa, $4.60. Angelic Ruler for D. Oliver, $6. Savatiano 7s. Baccarat Baby, $8.50. Jamaican Rain, $12. Natalie 11s. Invincibila 10s. Aristia 15s. Bella Martini 17s. Spanish Whisper is a $17 shot here. Wowee. Longer the rest. Scooty, do you want me to do a speed map?
Tristart?
Yep.
Yeah. Horses like Jamaican Rain and Natali likely to kick forward. Atana, Spanish Whisper's probably going to be posted.
I think Spanish Whisper will cross and lead here. I think Bella Martini will kick up and hold a spot. I think Sabatiano's cast, be 3 wide, no cover. I think Atana will use a gate. I think Barakat Baby, from what I've seen,
Baccarat Baby
will be somewhere near it. Jamaican Rain and Natali, I think, get runs of the race. Aristia, I don't think it'll be as far back as it doesn't have to be as far back as it normally is, but it probably will be from 9. Teleplay from 8, I think, will be somewhere handy. I can't see how Angelic Ruler overcomes barrier 14, and I'm very disappointed because I would like to follow my money and get it back, but you cannot dream of backing it at the current price, given it's drawn 14.
It's got to run past a lot of good horses.
Race
at
10,
the price.
race 10 on Caulfield Cup Day.
Could be a cow paddock by then.
It probably is already.
I thought it was testing. It looked testing there
Testing
yesterday.
towards the end.
Yeah.
Fidelia stopped, didn't it?
I think the track's been playing enormously for the last couple of
Oh.
days. It's been great.
Caulfield track has been outstanding. The vibe on course has been outstanding. The white tent with no one in it that's restricting people from viewing the horses walk is a fucking disgrace. But outside of that, they've done an outstanding job.
Yeah.
That's fair to say. It's the truth.
Not the white tent.
There's a white tent. Stop.
Yeah.
There's, so we get people. I'm going off topic here, but you get people. The goal is to get people to come to the races who don't come to the races this time of year. Like, do you think there's many people going to the Everest who they're going to the Everest because they love horse racing? They're going because they might try it out because it's been so hard pushed. Caulfield Cup, same thing. They're not going to go and get a member's ticket and spend $500, or they don't know anyone as a member. They're going to go to the GA. Great day. You go and take like your 5-year-old kid to see the horses. You can't see the horses parade and the jockey go on the horse. That's what you're getting young people into the game with. The beauty of the horse, the athlete, the jockey's getting on. Can't see shit. There's a fucking white tent there with no one in it.
They are doing the big
Like torture.
They're doing the redevelopment, so I think in the new plans it looks like it's going to be.
I don't even think it's actually Caulfield. I think it's Channel 7 is the problem.
Oh, that's who owns. That's the tent, is it?
I don't know who the fucking tent is. It's empty. It's nothing in it. It's no branding. It shits me so much.
You block the yard and I tell you, push his buttons. It's amazing. I will say the New York style theme out in the general public with the dancers getting thrown up in the air and the DJs.
No, that's what I'm saying.
That's very good.
The whole vibe on course, everything they've done is so good. They've nailed it.
Yeah.
But just the mounting out is such a fuck up. And it fucking does my head in. I just don't understand how hard it is. There's that empty section there to the right too. Like,
How did we even start talking about that?
I don't know.
Probably like the track pattern. Anyway, I'll have a little crack at this race. I think it's wide apart. I think the best chances are Natali, Jamaican Rain up front. Putakawa, I backed last start. I'm still a bit sick on that. It's very short and it'll be probably overbet. The other chances I thought of the closers and that probably need a little bit of luck off the speed are Aristia and Savatiano. I just don't know where Savatiano is going to get to.
cast.
I think...
First 3 horses in the market, cast.
Yeah, you could just lay all 3, couldn't you?
Or you could do what I'm going to do.
What are you going to do?
Launch. Fucking launching here. This is a great betting race. Regardless of track pattern. Jamaican Rain, bet. Natali, fucking bet. Aristia, you got to bet. The horse is flying. It's savaging the line, Charlie Sheen style, like no horse I've seen. This preparation, all it wants to do is just find them and get every bit of it. It's flying. Spanish Whisper was slaughtered last start. They've sacked Zara, put John McNeil on. They haven't sacked Zara. He's gone to Sydney. But I think John McNeil getting on to positive.
Group 1
It
Jai.
has to cross and lead. It will be suited if it's on pace. It's $18. It SP'd like 8s last start versus all these horses. It's a bet. And the other horse that can definitely win this race, at $34, you probably get longer on the day because Mick D's riding it. Teleplay. It's a little athlete, that thing. It can really let down.
I think Invincibella goes okay as well.
Yeah, it's drawn one of them Walker, end of the day. He's a great rider, very courageous, but he's going to be sore by the end of that. He's just ridden the Caulfield Cup on the favourite like this the whole way with his sore back, drawn one ear. He might be indisposed. He's a chance of being... He gets indisposed that often on track. I'm just saying. I'm not bagging him. I just think Jamaican Rain's 4 from 4 first up, I think. Let me look that up.
Yeah, it's got a commanding first up record.
4 from 4 first up. The average SP of this race over the last 4 years, punters, $11.50. It warms me up even more. This is our sort of race. We don't like favourites. Average overall benchmark figure 7.3. That means anything can win.
Yeah, right.
Average to the 600 the last 4 years, punters, 0.8 fast. Overall benchmark.
New race, new horses though,
which
Jack.
which is actually extremely slow, Peter, as we've discussed.
I'm on Nantali.
There you go. It was heavily back to beat Sunlight and
In the Gill Guy.
and Santa Ana Lane. It was heavily back. Paraded pretty well. Very late in the yard.
Loves Caulfield.
Glowing in the coat.
Jamie Carr on board.
Great bet.
Jamie Carr.
Yeah. Just ticks all boxes.
You realise we're not Cranbourne. We're at Caulfield.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who's on? Jamie.
J Carr.
J Carr.
She's got a great book of rides. I wonder who her manager is.
Don't know. Do you have one?
No, I've got no idea. But she seems to be getting a lot of rides, a lot of good rides. But you seem to have a problem with that, Pete.
No, I think she might be coming across to WA for a few of the stable rides later in the year.
Yeah, right, okay.
You heard it here first. That's not true, I just...
Righto, Scooty. The Everest. Third year of the Everest.
I'll do the market.
1,200 metres.
Arcadia Queen, $5 favourite. St Adelaide, $5. Pirata, $7. Yes, yes, yes. $9.50. Red Zell, $14. Elise, $14. Sunlight, $16. Classic Legend, $18. Inner Time, $26. Brutal the First Emergency, $25. And Nature Strip, $26. Trekking, $30s. And 10 Sovereigns, similar price.
Okay, speed map courtesy of puntingform.com.au. Sugar Shane Baker. Red Zell and Nature Strip. Well, Nature Strip probably cross Red Zell. Then Sunlight, Pirata. Brutal, we forward if it runs. Home of the Brave, 10 Sovereigns, and Classic Legend. Elise, Trekking, and probably Arcadia Queen, Centre and Lane, Inner Time. Got Inner Time pretty far back there. And yes, 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 the rest of them bring up the back. There'll be good tempo here, yeah, we think?
I'd say so.
Yeah, it has to be.
Last
Nature
year,
Strip.
the first year they went 8.5 to the 6th, 8.5 fast. Last year they went 5.6 fast, which isn't very fast for this grade of race.
No. Both
So-
of those are heavy tracks, though. And
Onto a firmer deck we anticipate on Saturday.
It'll be good. It'll be a good track.
Expect they roll along at a decent clip here with Nature Strip in the race. Scooty, what have you found for us?
Really tricky. I've sort of gone around in a couple of circles with the race, but I do love the fact that it's not going to just be a boat race for Red Zell. I think he'd be a good point to start laying. Probably you'd lay the first 2 leaders, Nature Strip and Red Zell. Horses that I don't want to lay, but I think might drift, are Santa Ana Lane. He's in a really awkward spot. I thought he was great with 60 kilos, and you sort of said from the yard that he needed that run. Arcadia Queen could be a freak and could be a star, so I'd be keeping her safe or just wary. I like the setup of Elise fresh into this off the 48 days. I thought she was really good behind Scales of Justice at Caulfield when probably not suited. Interesting, the July Cup winner 10 Sovereigns. It's posted pretty wide on a limb. Yet to see like an English sprinter come over and just smash them first up, and this is as tough as it gets. Outside of that, there's not much that really appeals to me, unless sort of a horse like Brutal somehow gained a start. I can see why the market would like Sunlight, but yeah, wait and see how the track's playing. I'd say Santa from Arcadia and Elise third pick.
Peter?
Arcadia. I've been on it for however long. We've got to see her in the flesh. Destroyer, Group 1 field back there at Ascot. I know it was completely unsuitable over 1,800 metres when you're comparing it to the Everest, but
When you say Group 1 field, who was in the race?
Oh, Gadding. Material Man. Perfect Jewel. Galaxy Star.
I don't know many of these horses.
I don't know any of them.
Arcadia Queen's a freak.
I think it needs to be a freak to win.
Has been trained with this in mind by the Waller camp. I love the way that they've just given it just the one start, couple of trials in between, keeping it fresh, really training it as a sprinter. Gets a perfect barrier, J-Mac, big race.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, I am reasonably keen actually, even though I don't understand Sydney form very well. Santa Ana Lane's favourite, and it was enormous at Flemington, but it wasn't like, it was good and it was big in condition. Sunlight was still had some improvement to come. It SP a dominant favourite over it and beat it. I'm now getting $15 Sunlight to beat it, and it's $5. It just doesn't make sense to me. Very keen to back Sunlight, who makes its own luck, and I think Elise, which I'm sure Rob will find and will have a unit on anyway. I will be fully supportive of that, Rob. If you do find it, Elise is an absolutely outstanding type with an endless amount of ability. Huge engine. I think she'll be really suited. The faster they go early, the better she'll go. She's got a huge turn of foot, and she can obviously get a mile. So Sunlight's the bet each way for me though, if you just want to bet one horse. Okay, punters, that's it for the show. Here are our best bets for the day around the grounds. Peter, what have you got for us?
I've already backed Big Duke. I think
In the
it's
Caulfield Cup,
outstanding
each way,
value.
Big Duke.
And Nantali in the last, I think, is really good value.
Caulfield race 10, number 10, Nantali there for Pete. Scooty,
I don't have a best because I think it's a really tricky card. I'll say my best value bet would be Intuition at $11. I think it'll just be speed galore. Ben Mellon's on, can just weave through. And in the Caulfield Cup, I think a great each way bet is the sneaky Kiwi. We saw the Kiwi win last week in the Herbert Power. Crown Prosecutor each way at around 50-1. That's great for me. I think he can hang on for a place.
okay, my best they're both value bets. Caulfield race 10, number 9, Jamaican Rain for Benny Mellon. And in Sydney, I quite like Sunlight each way in the Everest. I just think it's huge odds off a dominant SP over Santa Ana Lane in the lead-up race they're both coming from. There's no doubt Sunlight's been set for the Everest like they all have, so I've got no problem with it.
Can't wait to bet.
Our Betfair lay of the day, punters, is mine. Caulfield race 4, number 3, Warning.
Race 10, Angelic Ruler. We'll get too far back. Can't win.
Race 8, there's just a lot of horses that look skinny, and there will be a track pattern surely on Saturday, so I'll be laying something to place out of race 8.
What, do you want to mention a couple of names? Or
Just not really.
just you'll be laying something in race 8?
Yeah,
The place.
Okay, that's been us, punters. I hope you enjoyed the show. Good luck to Pete with editing this. There's been a fair bit you're going to have to work with there. Good luck and enjoy. We'll have many a mail from Caulfield for the Caulfield Cup and from Royal Randwick for the Everest Day. Head to themailbag.com.au for accountable betting advice delivered to you on our app.
Delicious.
Sweet.
Sweet.